A lot of times when we go through bad experiences in relationships, the part where we can kind of get hung up on is when the relationship ends, we were done dirty, and we feel like, you know what? It's not fair that I got done dirty and I'm left holding the bag and you get to walk away unscathed. I think that, karma or something else should bite you in the butt a little bit. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist, and I wanted to kind of talk about this feeling of needing justice when we were wronged or when we were betrayed or we were just really hurt in a relationship. And it seems like the other person can get up, skip on down the road. They can start their life over. They can, pick up and start dating somebody else and carry on like, all is wonderful in life. And here I am, torn to pieces. I'm an emotional wreck. I'm devastated. I'm really hurt, or I'm having to pay the consequences, for days, months, sometimes even years of what you did to me. And it's not right that you get to walk away and that you get to be happy. And God damn it, you should have to pay a price. And I want to see it. I don't want to see you happy. I don't want to see you moving on to the next person. I want to see you have some sort of consequence where you're suffering just as bad or if not worse than I was. I feel like it's only right. And here's the thing, it's not necessarily inherently wrong to have this feeling of wanting justice. I think where it gets to be a little bit tricky is when you feel like, A, I need to carry out this feeling of justice in myself, or B, your life sort of halts, because of it. And it's like, it's all that you could think about, like, and you start to perseverate on it or like fantasize about how this thing could be done or make plans, I think that's where it gets to be, because it starts to consume you, or you want to take actions into your own hands as opposed to just moving on with your life, healing, picking up the pieces, and just, not looking back and allowing that person to become a distant memory. I do believe that, ultimately, I think when people do us dirty, can they get up and walk away and it seems like their life is all wonderful? Absolutely. But I'm also a firm believer in what goes around comes around. And it's not because it's it's a nice, warming feeling. And it's a saying, I've actually seen it happen, and I've actually witnessed it on quite a few people, that I've worked with over the years. I've just seen it play out in friends, family. I've just, things do come back. You may not always get a front row seat. It does happen when people are bad to others or they do bad things in their life. That lifestyle, those things that actually catch up to them, and eventually, they will have to, settle, at some point in their life. But that's their life and that's their journey. We all have to, pay up at some point for mistakes that we make, right? Where we kind of, where we're humbled or things come back around. But the thing about it is, the feeling of justice really comes from your feelings of powerlessness. You feel betrayed and you feel like you need this extra sense of justice, a lot of times because you didn't stand up for yourself, either because you didn't have the tools, you didn't know how to, or you weren't able to, or, you never felt like you could. Whatever reason it may be, it's usually because we betrayed ourselves in some way. We stayed in relationships way past the expiration date that we feel like there should be some sort of retribution, there should be some sort of justice. Really, when you need to be giving justice to yourself by making things whole just within yourself, without, lashing out, or without causing people harm, or without sort of watching over them to make sure somebody else causes them harm or something like that. You just need to work on getting back to you and getting to a place where you can learn to love yourself, trust yourself, and you will never again betray yourself for the validation or for the approval of somebody else. So I hope that helps. Let me know what you guys think about that. Thanks so much.